Hey everyone, got another video here for you. In front of me I have a Spyderco SuperLeaf. No unboxing for this one because it was actually a in-person trade that I did with a friend. I had that automatic knife that I had way back from when my trade went bad, and the scam artist had sent me as partial compensation for my loss after much pressure. But regardless, this particular friend was actually interested in the automatic knife, and he was willing to trade a SuperLeaf for it. And given the fact that I'm not really a big fan of autos and whatnot, and I do like me a Spyderco, I said yes. And this isn't a knife I'm probably going to hold on to, but I thought, you know, while it's in my hands, I might as well do a video on it, give my thoughts and opinions. As you guys can see here, Spyderco SuperLeaf, this uses black G10 handles. You got a nice lanyard hole here, and you got a Spyderco wire clip for tip up, right side carry, and you can flop it for left side. But as you can see here, it is tip up only. Torx bit screws. There's two here on the handle, and you got the pivot here. Compression lock. Inside the stainless steel liners, you can see that it is indeed skeletonized on both sides, and it has pretty beefy standoff there. Also there on the other side. Very well made. Scales are extremely flush with the stainless steel liners. The action on it is extremely smooth, like buttery smooth. Locks up extremely tight given that compression lock. You got some jimping there on the back of the blade. It is VG10. If I can get that to focus there, maybe not, but I think you can see it possibly well enough. Spyderco VG10. So more than adequate steel in my opinion for your typical everyday tasks. It is a full flat grind and has that leaf shaped blade, kind of a modified spear point, giving the name the SuperLeaf. You also have a very large pronounced finger choil with jimping all throughout there, and overall it's a pretty big knife. Probably would have been smart to grab another knife here to put in comparison. I guess I could do that a little bit later. Really comfortable in the hand. It's really no hot spots when using this knife. I mean, it fits really well, and the overall swell of the spine of the blade, or not the blade, I'm sorry, the handle really fits nicely. The gradual thumb ramp here, perfect lock in for your thumb. When you choke up, finger choil, plenty of room for you to keep your finger in. Put your thumb over the blade if you want, more intricate cutting. You know, you can do all kinds of hand positioning. I do have to say the most comfortable for cutting though would have to be this one. And the only thing I don't like about this finger choil is you can notice that the thumb ramp is back here and the finger choil is way out in front. So I feel like my thumb kind of recedes back as my finger wants to go forward to fit in that choil. In a comfortable position with the choil, and with the thumb ramp would feel good to be here rather than like this. So it feels comfortable like this, and if I'm going to do the choil, it makes me want to move my finger up. But overall, I mean, extremely sharp knife is expected from Spyderco, from the factory. Fit and finish on it is extremely well made. This is a Seki City, Japan, the origin and production of this knife. Very pretty, decently sized spider hole. Excuse me, so I try to get that lock closed. Once again, I apologize, I don't have my tripod right now, so kind of difficult doing these one-handed reviews. You can see there's only one side to the pivot that screws on. The other side, it's just kind of like this nice, clean, shiny part. Blade is slightly off center. You can probably adjust that utilizing the pivot, but at the price point of this knife, it's, you know, nothing too nitpicky. I think these go for, on average, brand new around 120, but you know, of course, a little more, a little less, depending on where you shop. Blade is pretty darn thick all the way throughout the knife until you get to that tip there. The overall length of this knife is 7 15/16 of an inch, so this is a pretty big knife. The blade length on it is 3 7/16 of an inch, so it's about 3.5 inches. Cutting edge 2 13/16 of an inch, and the closed length is almost 5 inches, so 4 inches and 11/16, so almost 5 inches overall length. I already said there the steel is VG10. G10 handle scales. Weight on this is not too bad given the size of the knife. Is 4.7 ounces, and it does help a lot with those milled out liners. As you can see, they cut out some fat circles in these to save and reduce weight. And origin made in China, or sorry, Japan, Saiki City, Japan. Very comfortable knife to carry because I have those deep wire clips, but I do have to say for my liking it is very wide. This is a very wide knife in comparison to some others, and so I'd say that's only kind of one downside. In fact, I'm going to take just a second here. You guys stick with me. I'll grab a couple knives for some comparisons. Okay, I am back. Do a comparison next to the military here. You can see that it is pretty wide. Setting it down, SuperLeaf, it does stand taller. Of course, the military is the king of knives when it comes to trying to shrink a knife. So even the military is still longer overall. And obviously the blade on the military is also longer, being 4 inches. Let's see if I can get somewhere. So that's what it looks like from over top. You can see it is a pretty beefy handle, pretty wide blade. Let's see, how about next to a pair of 2? You can see how wide that handle is compared to that of the pair of 2, and how wide that blade is. Spear point, leaf-like looking blade. And let's see, next to a Sebenza. This is where I really feel the Sebenza excels, and that's just the amount of blade you can fit into a Sebenza and how slim. Obviously the swells of this and the contouring of the handles, this would be more comfortable in the hand, more ergonomic. Spyderco is notorious for that than that of the Sebenza, but for the size of the package, you can see just how thin the Sebenza is, large Sebenza to that of the SuperLeaf. And once again, you can see here, cutting edge on the Sebenza, the blade is longer, and also the cutting edge, obviously, because the blade being longer, is much longer than that of the SuperLeaf. But look how much beefier the SuperLeaf is than that of the Sebenza. And the handle is like the same length. SuperLeaf appears even there to actually be longer than that of the Sebenza, yet look how much cutting edge the Sebenza packs over the SuperLeaf. So, in my opinion, this size knife is definitely too big for me to EDC when I have the availability of something this slim and packing that much more cutting edge. But it comes down to personal preference, and of course price is to take into consideration, and just the nature of use you're going to be having. So that's just a few comparisons there. Overall, Spyderco, they are extremely hard to beat when it comes to a quality knife to the price ratio. I mean, they just excel all day long, every day, when it comes to construction and fit and finish on a knife, given their price ranges. You cannot go wrong with the Spyderco. Alright guys, that's just some of my thoughts and opinions on the Spyderco SuperLeaf before I let it go. Overall, I mean, it is an excellent blade. You can't beat the quality for the price. I mean, cut out liners, G10, deep carry wire clip, full flat grind, VG10, jimping on the choil, thumb ramp, compression lock, one of the strongest locks that Spyderco has to offer. Yeah, that is the Spyderco SuperLeaf, guys. Hope this was semi-enjoyable, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.